Hi, hi, Michelle. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing good today. How did last week go for you? Hopefully, everything went well. Oh, okay. Well, I'll put you in my prayers. Hopefully, you'll feel better soon. Yes, get you some rest. Okay, last week was okay. Good, good, good. That's awesome. Yeah, I hate you feeling bad today. You're welcome. But hopefully, rest will do you some good. Just trying to wait on a couple more people to come in. Yes, rest before 6, then off to work. Okay. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. So hopefully you'll feel better before it's time to go to work tomorrow. How you doing, Hajarine? Hope you're doing well today. Let's keep Michelle in prayers. She's not feeling 100% today. And she's trying to get some rest, which is probably needed, of course. We can all use rest. Okay. All right, you're doing well. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm doing good today. It's kind of, to me, the day is like a lazy day. I've been kind of resting a lot, some today as well. But I also hurt my look. I burnt my wrist trying to curl my hair, and so I got a nasty little spot on my wrist, which keeps burning. Unfortunately, I put what Neosporin on it, but yeah, it's taking a little minute to heal. It says it's not burnt really really bad, but I put like this thing around it, a gauze and tape around it, so I won't keep knocking against it. Yes, I heard Miss Girl. I don't know. Trying to use the wine curlers, and honey, I don't know what I was doing, and it hit me twice. Got me real good. Like right on where the vein is, on the thing. It's like right at the end. It's like, oh my gosh. And it's still burning. I mean, that I did that last Friday. It's still Friday, Saturday, it's still burning. Oh my gosh. But it's not as bad now, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, today's been kind of like a lazy day for me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hazreen. And, I started thinking, I'm like, they be saying people with diabetes sometimes it's harder to heal. And I'm like, oh, well, I ain't got time for that. No, no, no. I am healed in the name of Jesus. And Michelle, you are too. I speak that over our lives. Just trying to give a couple more minutes for everybody to come in. Y'all saw I put out a few shorts, YouTube shorts, yep. And I'm just excited about how, God has truly been have blessed me this last year. I'm like, man, the year already. Thanks. Yes, yes. It's been a year already. I said time just goes by so fast. But yeah, I just wanted to, try to give, you know, honor where honor is due. And, you know, God has really truly blessed me to, come this far. And I thank him for it. So I want to, make sure I stop and give him some glory and honor, you know, on my platform. So yeah. And so tonight, yes, God is everything. Yes, yes. Everything to me, everything to you. Yes. And of course, we can't praise him enough. How you doing, Felicia? Hope you're doing well tonight. And tonight, just like I said, I just wanted to come on tonight and kind of just celebrate my 1 year. As far as being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and being able to combat it, lower my A1C as well as manage it better. So I haven't been having a lot of highs, glucose spikes and highs when I do my readings just to check my glucose. And I check my glucose at least twice a day is what I normally do. And everything's been going, it's not been spiking, which is good. And so I'm celebrating that tonight. I want to celebrate with my family, my YouTube family. He will cover you like he says. Yes, Psalms 91. Exactly. Shield and protection. Yes, yes. He is our shepherd. Yes. And he does just that. And so, I came on, my channel is Kim J Sweet Healthy Life. And just knowing, the reason why, I had kind of pondered different names, and I was like, you know what? I plan to live a sweet, healthy life, and so, hence my name, even in spite of, the challenges that will come, because of course, challenges are going to come throughout our lifetime at different times. I wish everything could, be hunky dory all the time, but not going to happen. And that's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the happy anniversaries. Yes, my transformation is built. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Look, I need to hear that. I need to hear that all the time. Because sometimes I'm like, well, you know how you be in your head about things. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, so my thing is, and because I'm, I have challenges with my health, and I've been having it for a while now. I mean, years and years and years, like over 20 years. First, the high blood pressure, and then after that, some years after that, I developed kidney disease, and then some years, of course, 2024, I found out that I had developed type 2 diabetes. Now, it could have happened before then, but that was my wellness visit, my yearly wellness visit. That's when I found out, my A1C was up to a 15.1, which of course would be considered diabetes type 2 for me. And yeah, I had to figure something out fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm like, I can't keep playing with it. Gotta get something done. Gotta figure it out. And of course, like I told you all before, I, cried out to God about it, let him know how, you know, like let him help me heal inside about just hearing, the diagnosis by itself alone was like, detrimental a little bit to me. But after I got myself together, with his help, and my family's encouragement, I was able to, dry those tears up and and figure out how to do this thing the right way. And I give him all the honor and glory and praise for it, because he definitely, was in it from the very beginning. The word says that he will heal us, and I believe he will. Yes, thank God you are one that believes in going to the doctor. Yes. So just look, go back a little bit. I had not gone to the doctor for my wellness visit for years after 2020, because of course, everything that was going on around the time. I'm like, I'm scared to kind of go to the doctor or whatever. And so I was like, I had gone a couple times for different things, but not actually for my annual in a couple years. So I decided, let me go ahead and get the annual done, because I needed, to get the full blood work up and everything on me. So I just went on and did that. And, that's when, like I said, I found out I had diabetes. Yep. So, and I knew it was not a sentence or whatever, but it could have been that way, and that's why I give God all the honor and praise for it, what he's done, because having a diagnosis of 15.1, this thing probably had already been, had developed the diabetes, but like I said, did not know. So just think, if I did not go at that time, and I went another year without, getting my checkup, no telling where would I be. But God, but God. But yes, I definitely believe that going to doctor visits are very important. And at that point, I was having to go to the doctor anyway to check my, just to get so many checkups for my blood pressure and the kidney disease, and then just other things that they normally check. I was doing that regularly. It's just I didn't get the annual, like I should have the prior year. So yeah, All right, cheers, Tamika. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well today. So yeah, so I'm happy I did go when I did because no telling how things would have turned out if I didn't. Right. So knowing that and I knew it before the doctor even called me and talked to me about it and told me to go to the ER about it. I already knew because I have the portal, and when I looked at the information, I was like, oh my gosh, 15.1. Oh my gosh. And I knew about diabetes because I have extended family members that have diabetes, as well as friends and everything. So I knew about it, and I know it was something that it can be a disease that can really, really harm a lot of things in you, and can be to detriment as well. So like I said, I had to get it together quick, fast, and in a hurry. Hi, Didi. How you doing? I hope you're doing well today. So yeah, so I just want to come and celebrate with you all and let my family, my YouTube family, celebrate with me. Also, let me know what you're celebrating today, because again, we want to have a sweet, healthy life. And I want to find out from you all, what do you think today? What do you think sweet, healthy life means? Or what does it mean to you? I ask you all that today. What do you all think about that? When you hear sweet, healthy life, what do you think that means? Hi, Bellflower. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hi, Darium. Yes, my Tuesday has been good to me thus far. So yeah, thank you, Didi. What do you think, sweet, healthy life? And are you planning on living a sweet, healthy life? And if so, how are you doing that? If you can let me know, let us know in the chat. Give us at least one or two things on that topic. Don't be shy. What do you think a sweet, healthy life means? And are you considering living a sweet, healthy life? And what are you doing to make sure you can accomplish that goal? All right, Bellflower says, I think it means coasting and living easy breezy, beautiful, doing all the things to support our best health. That's good. That's good, Bellflower. Good thoughts. Okay, someone else? Someone else, let me know what you think. What you think? All right, so Downside the Diva says, I'm doing good. She's telling the chat that. She says, a sweet, healthy life means living good. Sweet means fabulous to me. And then, yes, I'm blessed and living well. Thank God. I know that's right. Yes. Anybody else want to tell what they think it means? And in the chat, y'all, I want some participation here, please, please. Look, give me some participation with this. I mean, because other people that may be listening at it or going to listen to it, of course, they may have those questions like, what does sweet healthy life mean? So for me, when I say sweet healthy life, yes, it is about living well. It's about, enjoying my life, that God has given me, making sure that I am physically in good health, that I'm mentally and emotionally in good health as well as spiritual wholeness. That's what it means to me. So when it comes to, as well as nutrition, I need to add that as well. Nutrition as well, making sure that I'm eating healthier. So that's what it is to me. So when it comes to physical health, we're talking making sure I am, again, eating foods that's going to benefit and serve me well, that I make sure I'm getting movement in, exercising. And I think aerobics as well as strength training is so important. Both of them are very important to me. And then also making sure I'm getting rest, the rest that I need. Now, also when I say mental and emotional health, I'm talking self love, self care, making sure I'm taking care of myself well, choosing good things for me, choosing things that serve me well, setting boundaries, making sure I have healthy boundaries, and then making sure that I'm emotionally stable. And then spiritually, of course, we're talking faith, you know, living in purpose, on purpose, and then also having peace, not being so stressed out about everything. So that to me is a sweet, healthy life. Good evening, losing it, Grace. I said it right the first time. Losing it, Grace. How you doing, Grace? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming in. She's saying hey to everyone. So Michelle says, my sweet healthy life reflects God's goodness and care as it is written. Yes, behold. I'm sorry, I'm to behold. Beloved. Where I get behold from? Beloved, I've prayed that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers. 3 John 1 and 2. That's the New King James Version. Yes, yes. Love that scripture. Yes, we want to prosper in all things and be in good health. And that's as our soul prospers. Amen. So we're talking mind, body, and spirit. That's sweet and healthy, y'all. Mind, body, and spirit being healthy. That's good. That's good. All right. So Darian says, when I hear sweet, healthy life, I think of the hymn saved. Life now is sweet and my joy is complete, for I'm saved, saved, saved. I know that's right. I like that song. Yes. Yes, yes. That's good, Darian. So I am doing well. I'm doing well tonight. I am doing well. I was telling everyone, before you all came in, into the chat, that I actually burnt myself with the curling iron. Well, with the, what is it called? The rod. I'm trying to think of what it's called. I can't even think of the name of it now. But I burnt it's a curling iron. Burnt myself, and it hurts still. It was like Friday, I think it was, that I burnt myself, and it is still burning here and there. I put Neosporin on it. I have it kind of wrapped up so I won't keep hitting it because it's right at the vein, where the vein is right here. Yeah. So I put something on it, put some Neosporin on it real good, put a gauze, and then just wrapped it with a little tape. But other than that, everything else is good. Losing Grace says she's tired. Insomnia is kicking my butt. Sorry to hear that, Grace. Hello, Esther. How are you doing? Me and insomnia go together like we're married, Grace. I feel you on that. Yes, blessed you are. I'm ready for myself. I know that's right. Yes, because nobody has time for no insomnia. You got to get a sleep, some sleep, honey. Yes, mag glass. Okay, glycinate now. Yes, that'll be good. When you decided to name your channel Sweet Healthy Life, what were you thinking? What was your vision? How is the vision showing up in your life? So, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Hello, Mel B. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good today. Yes, God is good. Yes, thank you, thank you. Right. It's what we doing here, and I'm over here, trying to do the wand curl. That's what it is, the wand rod. And honey, I don't know I didn't know what I was doing, but I was trying it, and yeah, it didn't work. Thank you. Trying to get the. Yes, good, Esther. I'm good. I'm doing well. So yeah, Darian. When I thought of the putting Sweet Healthy Life again, I just thought about holistically enjoying my life, every part of it, and it's nothing like having a sweet life. Nothing like enjoying your life. I mean, there so much that goes on that we have that so much how we say life is life and so much happens in a day and and throughout the years that I don't want to so much focus on the negative parts of life. I do want and wish and to enjoy my life. And so part of enjoying my life is making sure that I am healthy. And so therefore, hence the name Sweet Healthy Life. I want to live life sweet, and God will bless me with a sweet life. He has been blessing me with a sweet life. And so therefore, like I said, mind, body, and spirit, it all kind of comes together in one to make sure that I am healthy. I'm able to live long, you know, um, have longevity, as well as that, my body, mind, and spirit is healthy. And we're talking nutrition, we're talking, physical movement, um, making sure that I'm able to manage stress well, because some stress is okay to have in your life, but be able to better manage it. So those type things is what I consider having a sweet level, having a sweet healthy life. Spiritual wholeness, mental and emotional wellness, as well as physical health is very, very important when it comes down to having a sweet healthy life. So that's what I thought when I came up with the name. Yes, mag is good. I've been using it's a mag that I have, magnesium that I have is a mag 10 and 1, and it's been doing well. I've been enjoying it. Okay, down says are you taking mag 7? Oh, mag oh 07 to help with sleep or a different mag? Okay, losing a grade says she's trying natural fertility, calm sleep, melatonin, and magnesium citrate drink mix. Okay, thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I was in look, I'm like, what am I gonna wear? I gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear because of course, since I've lost so much weight this last year, thank God, I was able to lose 70 something pounds at the time. And so, 74 pounds now. But yeah, I'm so happy that I was able to do that. But with that, of course, that means new clothes. So I'm like, what am I going to wear? Like, most of everything in my closet is too big. So even the clothes that I showed you all on that one, clothing haul I did, some of them are bigger now than what they, were at the time. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Having to buy more clothes, and they're smaller, and I can now fit, go to, I have more stores that I can go to find clothes. Because for some reason it's hard sometimes to find clothes, plus size clothes in different stores. So you have, a limited amount of stores that you can go to, unless you go online and shop. Nowadays, a lot are online, and you can get, more a variety of clothes that doesn't look. I mean, that will look good on you. Hi, Tanya. How you doing? And Downstairs it even says she takes Mag 707 when she needs it, and Mag G every night. Okay, so Grace, I'm on 7.5 milligrams of Manjaro, and I started taking that July. I'm sorry, I'm talking July, December 17th of 2024, and I've been rocking with that ever since. All right, that's the mag she takes. Yeah, so I've been rocking with 7.5. So when I first started the journey, of course, I started on 2.5 because I had never taken a GLP-1 before. My journey started July 30th of 2024. And I was on the 2.5 for a month. And then I went to the 5 after that month, because at that time it was the shortages and everything. And I also did not know that I can go to another pharmacy to get the medicine if my pharmacy did not have the medication. So I just told them to go ahead and, since my doctor put in a 2.5 as well as a 5 milligram at the beginning, I told them to go ahead and, give me the 5, because they said, they had a 5 available. They just didn't have the 2.5 in. So I went on and went up to the 5 at that time. And I stayed on the 5 for 4 months. And then I went to the 7.5. But when I was at the 2.5, I lost, a good little bit of weight on that. I think about 15 pounds on that for the first month. And then up until, I know in December, I was losing really good, like at 2 point something pounds. And then this year it slowed down, to like 1 point something pounds per week. So still did good on it. And more recently, I'm not losing as much weight as I was doing before. But I mean, that's pretty inevitable for most people, that after a while it'll kind of slow down. If you're going out the gate pretty quick, it kind of slows down. And I'm close to my weight goal anyway, so that's okay. That's right. That's okay for me. So Mel B says, Grace, have you considered Goli ashwagandha? I use a sugar-free kind. It's in a blue container. It's so good for sleep. All right. Yes, I've heard about the Goli ashwagandha. Actually, I think I heard um yeah, I heard that was really, really good. Just ashwagandha in general. Okay, thanks for suggesting that, Mel. Pills Closet sometimes has good options. Okay. I think we have one in my city. I went in there once, but it was years and years and years ago. I gotcha. Yes. Thank you, Michelle, for that. Have to check it out because I normally like a lot of times I'll shop at Ross because that I don't want to spend too much money on clothing, but I'll shop at Ross or I'll get maybe the Old Navy. I've gotten a couple things from, but Ross definitely. TJ Maxx, I've gotten something from Walmart, Target, so I won't have to spend a whole lot of money since I'm still losing. And I'm a t-shirt and jeans girl, a t-shirt and exercise pants. That's mainly what I wear right now. But when I'm having to go out somewhere, yeah, I'm more than likely gonna have to go and buy something. There's a place also called It's Fashion Metro. It's Fashion Metro that I sometimes get some things from too, and it's not that expensive. Or even Cato. Every now and again, I'll go in there and get something, but I don't want to spend, like I said, too much money until I, get to the size that I'm going to be. But yeah. So anyway, are you all celebrating anything tonight or within this last week? Do you have any celebrations that you want to share with the chat or in the chat so that we can help celebrate you? Or if you had things that you may want to just talk out, we can do that. Okay, they sell a mag. What is it? I'm sorry, the ashwagandha. The gold ashwagandha at CVS and Walgreens and Walmart. Okay, thanks for that, Mel. And you probably can get them on Amazon too. Tabitha Brown is who I heard the Goli ashwagandha pills from or supplements. But I wish I liked gummies. I don't like gummies. But I'm thinking about getting some ashwagandha because I think it's other things that ashwagandha is good for too. So I think that would be good. And Grace thanks you, Mel. All right, so if no one is celebrating anything, let's move on. So when we talk about, okay, so Bellflower says, I do not know if this is a celebration, but you guys talk about tracking a lot, and I have been tracking for the last 2 days. Surprised that I'm actually getting 15 to 1600 calories, over 90 grams of protein. I do think that calls for a celebration, Bellflower. That calls for a celebration. Yay for you. That's awesome. Um, and Dee also agrees. Celebration. That is a celebration as well for you. Congrats, twin. Yes, because a lot of times people, you know, think tracking can be a trigger for them for whatever reason. It is time consuming, definitely. I'm off and on with the tracking. I don't like tracking, to be honest. Um, I do have a tracker that I use, but it's like when I'm ready to eat, I'm ready to eat. So, and I am a person that likes a variety of food. So it's not like my breakfast a lot of times can be very similar, but I do like eating a variety of things. So I know for those who kind of eat the same thing all the time, some people still track it. Some people say they don't have to track because they learn, they may track it for a little bit and then they stop because they kind of know, okay, I'm the creature of habit. I like eating these particular things. It's easier for me to just, eat these, say, 10 things and keep up with the numbers. But for me, I'm a variety girl. I'm persnickety when it comes to food, the way it tastes as well as what it is. But yeah. So when it comes to, and a lot of times I cannot eat for long periods of time. So when it's time for me to eat, it's time for me to eat. So I don't like the tracking, but I will track. Recently I had not been tracking, but I am being mindful of how much protein I'm eating and things like that. I still look at my labels, and I kind of do it in my head more so than actually on the tracker. I use my net diary to track. I plan on continuously use it because I do pay for it, but it to me it's a lot to try to track. And I think it's about discipline. It's just being disciplined. I really had no idea what I was getting into, right? You're right. And South Deep says, awesome. Yay. Yes, Bellflower. Congratulations. Thank y'all for cheering her on. Also saw I had 24 to 40 grams of fiber, which again, I had no idea since I'm a creature of habit with foods. Okay. That's awesome too. Definitely, we need more fiber. I'm learning that we need more fiber, or have learned, I should say, that we need more fiber if you're on the GLP-1 medication, or as you get older, some people need more fiber. If you have trouble with constipation, fiber will help you with that. Okay, Nicole says, thank you guys. But I also learned if I want to shed the last 9 pounds, I have to eat 1,200 calories. Okay. Gotcha. And I think you will do it. You'll do it. And that's good. Like I said, that's why it's important to congratulate you, because that's something you're trying to tweak. You're trying to figure out how can you lose those 9 pounds. And tracking could be your answer. And hopefully it is. But we pray that you make your goal. Yes, yes. The Flight and Delight series is hilarious. That's not for me. Oh, yes, yes. This good. The chicken sausage was the last, the latest victim. Right. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that chicken sausage. Ugh, no, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, sir. I'm trying to figure out why is the chicken sausage, why they got all these, when I look up, I've been looking for more chicken sausage because I do realize that chicken sausage has less saturated fat, because you all know that I'm trying to lower my saturated fats as well as my total cholesterol and the foods that I eat, because I'm trying to make sure that my HDL's levels go up and my LDL levels come down. For some reason, after I started my journey, a little bit, I'll say some months after, my HDL and LDL went haywire. So I'm trying to figure some things out now. For that, I take CoQ10 now, and then also, I'm trying to, like I said, make sure I'm mindful of the saturated fats. So again, even though I'm not tracking right now, I've been tracking for so long that I kind of can figure the things in my head when it comes down to protein, the amount of protein I'm eating, the amount of fiber I'm eating, the amount of saturated fats, as well as the total cholesterols. I'm able to be more mindful. So I do think tracking is a wonderful thing if you have the patience for it. And even if you don't, again, it's good to track. Bellflower, I watched a few doctors' videos recently, and they all suggest those floor minimums 1,200 to 1,500 as well. You're right on, or you're on it. Thank you, Grace, for that. Congratulations, Esther says to you, Bellflower. Hello, all. Good evening to you. Hi, Mia. How are you? So Tanya says, I finally went through my closet today. I have 4 bags of clothes to give to Goodwill and 3 bags of shoes. All right, Tanya, somebody's going to be blessed. And for you being a blessing, you will be blessed as well. This was really scary for me. I was afraid to let them go, but I feel so much better. I understand that. I do understand that. And I hear a lot of people say that. This time I was not scared. I was so excited to get rid of, or I should say, go down in clothing. I know some people, they do have that. It's an emotional thing to go down in clothing or get rid of clothing. And for me, I have not gotten rid of. I have packed things up. I do have some more things that I need to go through and get rid of or put, take out of my closet. But I think if I take them out, I ain't gonna have nothing in there. So I'm like, to keep my closet a little full, look like it's a little full, don't look bare. I have some still in there that I need to get out of there. But that's awesome, Tanya. Track and change the game for me. Highly suggested. Yes, Mia. I think it's very, very good to do it. And find ways, if if it is kind of hard for you to do, find ways to help you. At least, like I said, until you can, because if you don't track ever, it may be kind of hard to write, even if you write it down, if you're not using an app, it's sometimes hard to figure out what you're actually consuming, right? So at least do it for a little bit, so that you'll know how you're looking when it comes to the protein, the fiber, the carbs, which is your macros, as well as the calories. Because how do you know if you're in a calorie deficit if you're just eating randomly? And Belfast said that's good. No grays. I hollered when you tried the chicken sausage. That thing was. Oof. I don't know why. Why is it sweet? Like, why? I'm like, I want savory. I don't want sweet. Maple maybe, but that's about it. I don't. All this other stuff, y'all. Congrats on tackling that demon and overcoming it, Tanya. Yes. Bellflower says, Mia, I will hang in there for a bit until my next PCP visit in the fall, because I would love to show her stats as we recalibrate and or eliminate meds. Yes, I like that. And you will do well. You will do well. Okay, so Hadarine said, Tanya, you are blessing many people. Yes. Yes, I do believe that. Hi, Miney. How are you? I'm happy you came in. Happy you're able to catch it. Hope you're doing well. And I had asked the chat, what do they think a sweet, healthy life means? If you want to share that with us, your perspective. Yes, Tanya, that's awesome. I got friends who had PTSD with getting rid of their clothing right. That's a real thing. Sometimes, like I said, it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday. That's what, look. Oh, Bill, Boys and Men said it. Their fear was, what if I need them again? Right. So I assured them they would not. I know that's right. We're trying not to need them ever again, y'all. And that's why I think for me, it was more so, I'm just happy that I'm able to, go down in size and just get out of these clothes. I had been in a size 18, 20 for what they say, umpteen years. It's been up forever. So I was just so excited to be able to get out of them, honey. And I don't plan on going back. What is it? What song say? No, 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 no going back. No turning back. Mm-mm. Hello, Miss Linda. How are you? Hope you're doing well. What do you think a sweet, healthy life mean? What does that mean to you, Miss Linda? Darium says maybe it's because it was an apple chicken. Yes, that gave. Yes, it's also. I don't want that. I want an apple. I want sausage, preferably pork, but evidently it don't want me back because it's too much saturated fat in pork sausage. So I got to figure something out, or figure out, is there a cleaner pork sausage like that I can ingest? I hope so, because pork is my thing. I want chicken to look like chicken. I don't know. I want it to look like still look like the chicken. Or I mean, I don't mind like chicken tenders and everything, but it's something chicken sausage. I don't know. Chicken ground chicken. I don't know about that. But I did buy one. I bought a brand from Trader Joe's Friday, and I have not tried it yet. But it is a savory one. It's garlic and something, and I want to try that one out. Hopefully that'll be good. I heard Apple is it Applegate is a good brand. My husband, I think a couple years back, he had tried those and he liked it, but he's not as picky as me. So there goes that opposite to the track. So Darren said, "Hey, Miss Linda, and your spouse, an amazing grandson." Yes, yes. Amy Lou makes a regular chicken. Okay. Yes. Okay. I have to check it out. What are you drinking tonight, Miss Linda? Our mixologist. Darren says, "What does a sweet, healthy life look like for you?" I would love to know. Yes, yes. Please let me know what you think. I don't know why they put that apple in that chicken sauce. Right. Why? What about turkey? Nah. Nope. I've tried that. I don't care for that either. And that's the regular chicken, the regular turkey, the savory one. Nope. What about eating grilled chicken breast strips on your breakfast sandwich instead of sausage? I like that. That's a good idea. Yeah, I love grilled chicken breast now. Something I can get jiggy with. Great idea. Darian Belfowl says I actually use chopped chicken breast in my egg bites. Okay. And I like the ground chicken. So I wonder, yeah, I gotta figure something out. But for now, it's bacon, pork bacon. Monty told me to start eating. She suggested I start eating the center cut bacon. So, Monty, the center cut bacon, does it have? Is it less saturated fat in that? Which, of course, is more expensive, but is it less saturated fat? So, Monty says I like the Jimmy Dean turkey sauce with and crumbles. I don't like apple in mine either. Right? Who knows at Bellflower? I guess some people like the sweets. You know, some people are a sweets person. I'm a savory person. I like sweets, but yeah, I don't want that in my sausage. I still have, Tiny says, I still have another closet to go through. Okay. All right. More than one closet. All right, honey. I still have. Blessed. Okay. We call you blessed. I still have suits with tags on it. I will be giving them away at church on Sunday. Awesome. 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 Giving back. Thank you. Thank you, Tanya. My husband is more excited. I know he is more excited than me. I know he is. Linda says a sweet, healthy life means living agreeable, pleasing, and lowering the risk of illness and promotes overall wellness. Yes, I like that, Miss Linda. That's awesome. That's what it means to her. And I do believe that too. Great thoughts. I'm drinking a pineapple drink with dinner tonight. All right, pineapple drink. Y'all go check Miss Linda channel out if y'all looking for some. If y'all don't want any boring drinks, go check Miss Linda channel out. She'll hook you up. It's Darian says, how about making a ground chicken and egg white breakfast casserole? That might be something I'm thinking about. I can think about. That's a good that might be good. I have to check that out. But I have to use real eggs too. because I like the yolk of the egg more than the white. I tolerate the white, but I like the yolk better, which is the one that probably has the worst amount of cholesterol. But yeah, I might check that out. Thanks, Darian. Did you add some spice to it, Linda? Mm. The chicken sausage at Costco has no sugar. It has basil and mozzarella. I saw that on your, what is it, post, community post. So I did take a picture of what you show. You provided for us. Monty says I found that the Smithfield thick cut has a has as much fat as center cut too. Okay, I haven't compared saturated, but if you get the Aldi center cut, it is less expensive. It has less fat due to the cut. I got you. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. That does sound delicious. Yep. You already know how Miss Linda roll. Crushed peppers. Sweet healthy life means to Mia living free of food demons, eating for fuel and not to soothe emotions while enjoying your body and the movement to keep it healthy. I like that, Mia. That's awesome. Yes, that's good. Darian says, Miss Linda, what a lovely new profile pic. You out here showing out. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Y'all see her. You see her, y'all. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So yes, I love the answers that I've heard so far about living a sweet, healthy life, and I want you all to, make sure that you are creating that atmosphere, the environment to be able to live your sweet, healthy life. What you think sweet, healthy life means. Yes, so important to do that. Of course, we are wanting to, lose the weight. Some of us are, on a weight loss journey, some just a health journey in general, maybe trying to get our A1C down, you know, make sure our kidneys stay healthy and not, where the levels are going down, getting worse, making sure our blood pressure is in good standings. So all of that has something to do with sweet health, having a sweet life as well. Just making sure that you are on top of things when it comes down to, your blood work numbers, the results, as well as what you're eating. Again, for instance, we're talking about pork sausage, and I don't say don't eat pork sausage, don't eat pork sausage at all, right? For some, it's okay to eat pork sausage, and I don't think nothing is wrong with eating pork. Some people do, but I don't mind some pork in my life. But I just have to make sure that I am balancing things. That's another part of having a sweet, healthy life, being able to balance things, right? Live in balance. So that is so important to do. So there are other options out there. Not that you can't have sausage anymore, but I do know now that saturated fats as well as cholesterol, the total cholesterol, when you look at that on the package, that it could be, something that you want to think about, and the trans fats as well, something that you want to think about when it comes down to making sure that your cholesterol levels are good on within your blood work. So that's why I am thinking about that and being more mindful of it, right? So that's trying to balance out things. So I found something for now. Okay, I'm not eating sausage like that anymore. Not saying I'll never eat them again, but I am very mindful of that because right now I'm doing the pork sausage. But I am trying to find things that has less saturated fat in it so that I can, still enjoy sausage, since that's something that I do like to eat. And that would be, again, finding maybe a chicken sausage. So I'm keeping hope alive, y'all. Okay, so let's say my grandson wanted my picture updated, and you did well on that picture. You look very, very pretty. Mia said Miss Linda is very beautiful. Yes, inside and out. Yes, I do believe that too. Sweet healthy life means having the capacity to take the sweet and the bittersweet of life. Yes, I like that, Darium. Enjoying the ups and downs. Correct. Celebrating how far I've come, no matter how much further I have to go. Progress over perfection. So true, Darium. So true. And I am one that, for some reason, I feel like I need to live in perfection. That's just me normally. And so I am learning that I have to give myself grace, and I don't have to know everything about a thing. I can enjoy it, enjoy the journey. Okay. And also learn that sometimes failing is okay. Sometimes failing is okay because it can help me learn what I need to, maneuver so that I can get better the next time I try. So, yeah, it's about balancing. It's about, like I said, progression, not perfection. All of that is good. And I thank you all for sharing your thoughts about having a sweet, healthy life. It's very, very important so that people can know. Even like I said, if they're not in the chat today and just want to give a little small sidebar, if you have not liked, comment, or subscribe, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button. All right. So Grace says, for me, sweet healthy life means making room for indulgences and avoiding anything in excess. Yes, that's so true. I think it's very important to make sure that we, again, balance. That's considered a balance, right? Now, it may be 80-20 for you. It may be 90-10 for you, meaning I'm eating healthy 90% of the time, but indulging 10% of the time, or again, 85-15. And I'm thinking about now how ground beef is is sold. But yes, that's important to make sure that you are getting some sweets in if that's what you like. You don't want to be to the point where you're so strict on trying to be healthy and eating everything, that's deemed healthy for you, and you're never able to get some indulgence in, you know. And that's with anything in life, not just nutrition. Of course, we're talking nutrition right now, but that's anything in life. You want to have a balance, and you have to determine what your balance is. Because if you don't, do the things that some of the things you like doing before, and you take everything out cold turkey, sometimes it backfires on you. So even like for people that have diabetes, if for some reason that you want, say, a piece of cake, it's okay to eat a piece of cake every now and again. It's just how often you do it and what are you pairing it with. So I know years back when it comes to diabetes, it was a lot of don't do this and don't do this and don't. And a lot of the don'ts seem like the more you tell me not to, and not saying me personally, but I'm just saying in general, the more you say don't, the more I want to do it, right? So with that being said, they decided, to beef things up a little bit, as they learned that doesn't work for a lot of people. So let me find ways to still help people manage their blood glucose levels as well, and ultimately their A1C, so that they can still enjoy some of the things that life has to offer that are considered sweet, indulgent, and everything. The things that they're saying that we should stay away from. So nowadays, what they're saying is you can enjoy your piece of cake. Just make sure you pair it with protein, or fiber, and that way you can have your cake and eat it too. So, and then just have a small slice, not a big slice that you may have been used to having, you know. So that's how you do things now. Or another thing you can do is you can have Another thing you can do, you can have, make sure you have your proteins first. So like say if you're at a party and you decide, like for instance, I was at a party, I was at a rodeo party, and I showed you a little bit about. I didn't want to show too much because I had not talked to the birthday girl beforehand to capture the different moments. I didn't know if people wanted to be on stream StreamYard or streaming channels or not, or social media, I should say, or not. So I just decided not to, do that. And plus, it was an intimate moment for the birthday girl, so I didn't want to do that. But I did want to show you a little bit of it, of course. Now, it was so hot in there, y'all. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. I don't know. The air conditioner works, but I guess with all the movement around and everything, yeah, and all the clothes that we had on and all that, it got hot in there. So anyway, I started sweating. I'm like, okay, I'm getting a workout in, not even moving. Feel like it. But yeah, so say if at that party I had, I made sure I had some protein on the plate. I had some veggies on my plate, and I did have a little bit of the carbs as well. And it wasn't, it was simple carbs, but I made sure I ate my protein and my veggies first, and then I had a little bit of the carbs. And then I also had, they had cupcakes for, that they passed out to everybody. And then they had a little, a smaller cake too. But they had the cupcakes to pass out for people, if they want to take it home, or they could eat it at the place. But they did it at the end, shared the cupcakes with everybody at the end of the party. And so I took it. I went to my sister's house afterwards, which is when I was walking. I was walking at her house because I wanted to get my steps in before 12 o'clock. But midnight. But yeah, so when when I went to her house, I was like, "You want to split this cupcake?" So that's what we did. We split the cupcake. So I was able still to enjoy, some of the cupcake, when I did it, even though I have diabetes and my sugars were fine. When I got home and I checked my sugars before I went to bed, everything was a-okay. So yeah, we're able to enjoy those things. I remember when I was in the hospital, I was talking to a couple people, one person that actually has diabetes, and he was, of course, let me know everything is going to be okay, encouraging me and things of that nature, is one of my family members. And he was like, don't eat pineapple and don't eat this and don't eat that and don't, because that's what he learned, along the way. But again, my nutritionists that came in, and the things that they gave me at the hospital, they gave me a pineapple, piece of cantaloupe, piece of pineapple, a piece of grape, or not piece of grape, but one grape and things of that nature on my plates. And so, the loved one that was there, they looking like, why they giving you that? Your sugar is way up. But it's, like I said, about balance. It's about balance. So that little, very, very little dish they gave me wasn't going to hurt me. And they made sure they gave me, like I said, protein as well as good carbs, which is more so like the complex carbs as well. And then that was supposed to be like a little dessert. So yeah, we know we can do that now. We don't have to shy away from all sweets or all carbs. That's part of that sweet healthy life, y'all. For me, okay, I've read that. I just think a lot. I just think a lot of how you hustle and try to be so sweet and supportive to us all in the community while looking as flat as can be. Thank you, Mia. Yes, I love encouraging people. I do love encouraging people. I mean, that's we need encouragement. Like I said, life is can be very, very hard at times, and we can use encouragement. We get enough of the we get enough getting beat up by life at times. So yes, encouragement is very, very important to me, and I think it's one of my gifts that God has given me. Great perspective, Grace. Darium says. All right, Monty says, to me, sweet healthy life is making a balance of fitness, food for fuel, but still enjoying life and working in foods that I love every day. Right, working in those foods that she loves every day. Awesome, Monty. and realizing that I can be in the best shape of my life. That's spot on, Monty. That's great, great, great. Good perspective. All right, so true, Monty. Mia says. Hello, hello, Claxton. How are you? Darian says, good to see you. Hello, Darian. So Darian says, I would suggest all who are living with the disease of diabetes to watch Above the Bias by Freestyle US. Really helpful message, and as well as powerful message. All right. Where is it, Darian? It's on YouTube, Darian says. It's about a minute long. Okay. Short and sweet. Thanks, Darian, for that. Let me know what you think when you see it, Bellflower. I'll check that out as well. Hey, the Patrice Denise, how are you? Hope you're doing well today. Oh, slicky now. It's the Patrice Denise. How you doing tonight, friend? Happy belated to your husband. Yes, happy birthday to your husband, Patrice. Again. Hey, Twan, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Happy birthday again to you. Wait a minute. Dario says, I hear the lions roaring. Oh, never mind. It's Twan coming in and Twaning. Clax was like, Kim is live and why? Okay, thank you, brother. Why are you not listening, honey? Are you still on the high from Cabo? Oh boy. Why are you not listening? Thank you, brother. I mean, I'm telling you. That's funny. So, Twan, how do you describe sweet, healthy life? What do you think that means to you? If you can let me know, my days are off. I got you. And I understand that, especially when you had a time that you had, baby. You had a time. You hear me? We enjoyed your little shorts. Very, very good. And oh my gosh, Mindy, honey, she did a number on your birthday song. Very, very sweet. Look, angelic. Her voice is. Yes, yes. I love that song. Mia said, these men love their girls. Right. It's so very sweet and precious. Thank you. Yes, they do. Yes, Minnie did that, honey. And baby, you was out there showing out in Cabo, honey. Yes. I said, look at Twan. I know that's right. Yes, that birthday song was everything. Correct. Yes, thank you, Darian. Keep letting them know. Yes. What does a sweet, healthy life mean to you, Twan? What's your perspective on it? We're just trying to help other people that may hear the live, on the repeat. Just trying to figure out, what do you think sweet, healthy life means? We have some good answers in the chat so far. And it's funny how, it's kind of similar, the things that we're saying, but, putting our own spin on it, which is how things are, right? That's what happens when you lose over 100 pounds. I had to show the ladies what I'm working with. I know that's right. Yes. and did, honey. Look, confidence and all. Talk about lion roaring. Yes, ma'am. A healthy life, okay, is that she's happy about it. Yes. And good to her. Yes, yes. Look, good to you and for you. So Patrice says, sweet healthy life to me means living life with balance, in peace, making sure that I give the same focus to myself that I give to others. Great perspective, Patrice. Yes, yes. I like that. A little different, but I like it. Okay, Twine, you better show them. Okay. Mia said, hey, it's wonderful. How much pounds is it now, Twine? How many pounds have you lost so far? Okay, Mining. I was about to say, wait, yeah, wait, the wait update is tomorrow. Okay, yes, she'll give it to us tomorrow on her channel. But you can share with us, Swan, what which if for those who may not have seen your last update, if you want to. All right, Mill says I'm down 135.6 pounds down as of today. Praise God. Praise God. Yes. He's so good to us. Look, if it had not been for Jesus, where would we be? I was going to skip this week, but I'm a soldier. I know that's right. Go on, get on that scale, girl. Don't be scared. And if it is up, we understand why. You had a great time. You had a great time, and that's another thing about living that sweet, healthy life. You decided to go to Cabo for your birthday, enjoy your 50th. You did that, just that. Look, sad you had to come back so soon. But, you gave that yourself the opportunity to have a good time, to indulge some, and that's good. That's what we need. We need balance in our lives. It's okay to have some fun. It's okay to eat, and indulge a little bit. Yes, I didn't report a weight update last Wednesday, right? Which is might be why she asked. All right, Hajarine, yes, praise God. Said yes, praise God to Mia. That is awesome, Mia. Darren says, have you all hit the thumbs up? Are you subscribed? Did you hit that notification bell? If not, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. Do you know what tomorrow is? Do you know what tomorrow is? It's Twan's injection day. Hey, it's her injection day. Oh boy. All right. Congrats, Mia. Linda says, hey Grace. Yes, yes. All right. Mia says, even if up, you have a celebration. Right. Right. Always have a reason to celebrate. Durham says, oh goodness, Grace. She's getting her theme song ready to go. I know that's right. Congratulations to Mia, Patrice says, as well as Darium. Yes, yes. Congrats, congrats. So Twan says, I left at 2 a.m. to fly out, so I didn't bother. However, I did have 2 doctor's appointments the day before. Yes. Even if it's up, Monty says, celebrate. You didn't overdo it last year's past. I know like years past. Sorry, like years past. I don't know what I'm looking at. You stopped when you were full. That's progress. Exactly. And again, progress, not perfection. And it's okay to live a balanced life. No shame, no guilt. All right, Mia says, thanks so much. God and this community is my reason for success. I can't take all the credit at all. But you are doing your thing, though. You are doing your thing. All right, so Losing the Grade says Twan's greatest hits come in 2026. Right. Right. Oh, boy. Exactly. Yep, sis loves to sing, honey. All right, so y'all, with some key habits that can change that, that can change things for you to make sure that you are having a sweet, healthy life. All right. Now I got some water here that I need to consume because I'm on a 75 soft, which I'm doing, still doing well on it. Um, I did talk a little bit earlier about, one of the things that, well, let me just say the water this is water, but I have a mix in it. It's a grape mix in. So it's still considered water. I get 90 ounces of water per day on my 75 soft. And actually, we want to make sure that we are getting enough water in, right? That's part of living that sweet, healthy life as well. Water is so important. We want to make sure things stay moving, we're able to use the bathroom. Again, a lot of times with this GLP-1, we talked about a little bit earlier, just make sure you get your magnesium in to help you sleep. But it's a magnesium also that helps you, move better. But that water does help clear things out as well. So make sure you're getting enough water in. If you're not, try little things to try to up that number up so that you can be moving well per day. We should be using the bathroom every day, pooping every day. So yes, we want to make sure we try to do make better efforts to make sure that we are doing that, because we don't want to be stopped up. We already have, when you're on the GLP-1, it's slow digestion, sometimes slow emptying, but and then sometimes it's hard to get in water, just like sometimes it's hard to get in food. But you want to try to make sure that you are being diligent about getting your water in, as well as your foods. Because too less of a thing is not good, and too much of a thing is also not good. Again, balance. It's about balance, y'all. You need Mindy's sweet tea and Teddy's vocals. Get your little choirs. That sounds like a little ensemble, honey. Get all three of them to give you a little song. Mia says the advice and HRT help from LB was appreciated greatly. Yes, I do think she's giving good advice about the HRTs for those who decide they want to, go that route. But make sure, you talk to your doctor about it and see what they, offer you when it comes down to hormone replacement therapy. Some doctors, are for it, and some doctors are against it. But back to the water, just making sure that, you're getting your fiber in. Some people, like I said, a lot of us need more fiber than the 25 recommended grams of fiber a day. So, like my dietitian told me that I can up mine to 35, because I was having a little constipation as well. And out before the GLP-1, I was using the bathroom regularly. So not use, after I got up to the 5, I started having, some constipation. At the 7.5, it got a little worse. And I'm like, okay, I don't like this at all. I need to use the bathroom. I need to poop. So, because that's what I'm used to doing. And so, yeah, fiber is very, very important to make sure we have that, y'all. Okay, so Darren says, at the risk of sounding crass, you have to eat enough food to go poop. Yep, you do. That's it. That's true. If you aren't eating enough food, you can't go. Right. That's not constipation. That's a whole another situation, circumstance. Right. That's true. That's true. And some people may think they are having constipation, but they're not eating enough food. And you're right. If you're not eating enough, I mean, what is there to? I mean, you can't go because you don't have enough in you to produce bile to pass. So you want to make sure you're eating that food. And that's too sometimes why we're not losing like we want to, if we're not eating enough. So Bellflower says she started tracking, just try to help her lose her last few pounds. So that's why, again, tracking is very important, to make sure that you're eating your calories, eating the macros that you need to eat so that you can go poo, so that you can, lose weight, so that you can be healthier in general. You can watch your sodium, just different things. So that's why I like the tracker. That's one reason why I like the tracker, is because, it does monitor sodium. It helps you monitor sodium, as well as your macros, as your calories. If you want to monitor how much water you're drinking, that as well. So it has all of that on the trackers nowadays. So that's why I like. But yes, you are right, Darian. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Because I'm not sure. I haven't heard anybody, say that like that, and that's true. So true. So again, you know, um, I know that for me, when I started drinking more water, and I make sure I eat at least 35 grams of fiber a day, that has helped me a lot, and I haven't had to, you know, deal with the constipation anymore since I've been doing that. I've been going regular now every day, sometimes twice a day. I've even heard people say that you should poop every time you eat. So, but at least once or twice a day, you should be pooping. So, yeah. So that's that. Um, and that's part of that, again, sweet healthy life as well. Just making sure that you are, that things are moving in your body. You don't want it to sit in your body, for so long. And then, it's not coming out, because it's spoiling in there, everything. And it's, things supposed to move. God wants things to move. That's what it's supposed to do. So we want to get that movement. Also, even some walking can help you pull as well. Get movement in, that helps as well. So those things would definitely help you in that area. For those who may be having issues with constipation, those are some of the things. Eating vegetables, fruit, that also helps as well. Flaxseed, chia seed, hemp seed, those things help as well. So yeah, it's a lot of things. With the fiber that's in those vegetables and the fruit, that's why it's helping, because you have that fiber in it. It's a lot of fiber in fruit and vegetables. So again, make sure that we're on top of things when it comes to our physical health, the movement, and foods that we eat. Making sure that we choosing healthier foods, as well as getting rest. Now, for me, rest. So I do get rest. However, I need to become more aware of how often, like how long I get rest, how long I get sleep, I should say. I'm going to go into, it's actually sleep, because I do get rest, but sleeping, making sure I'm getting enough hours of sleep every day. And I'm talking about sound sleep. That's my dilemma right now. Trying to make sure I'm hopefully get up to the 7 hours of sleep every night. A lot of times I don't have insomnia, but I do and have always been a night owl. And, I'm learning that it's important to make sure I get the proper sleep. And so that's what I'm going to be working on, becoming more disciplined in, as well as I've been having y'all sugar. And I don't know how many people have diabetes in the chat. Raise your hand if you have diabetes. In the chat, I know Darian does. Patrice has, it's managed, but we've had issues with diabetes before. But I wanted to ask you all, um, Bellfly, you on Manjaro, right? Lord help my brain. Um, yes, but I wanted to ask you all, when it comes to, have you had low blood sugars? Have you suffered with low blood sugars? Yes, you suffer with the high blood sugars at one point, but do you have issues with low blood sugars now that you're down, your levels are down? Oh yes, Monty. That's right. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me go back up. I move my little mouse. Who tracks collagen? I don't track collagen, but I take collagen supplements. Do you mean add it to your tracker? Money says, I take it, but I don't track it. Bellflower says, yes, Miney, I started taking it today. Okay, great stuff. Yes, I have. I'm taking collagen. I've been taking it for a little minute now. I track mine because tracking protein. Okay, yes, yes, yes. So are you taking a supplement too, Monty, or just the protein? You getting it from the protein? Do you track the calories? Now I don't in my supplement. No, I don't track any calories or anything in that. Linda's journey says the collagen I take is 20 calories and 5 grams of protein. Yeah, I don't even know how many calories it is. I don't track that at all. But I can stand a couple more calories. That's for me. It's not gonna hurt me. So that's why I don't even think about them. I add collagen to my protein coffee. Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. Sorry. All right. Bellflower says yes. I'm on my job. Right. Okay. Right. 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 Okay. I'm not. I'm no longer a diabetic. Okay. Good. Good. According to my PCP. All right. Yay. Seriously, maybe once it was borderline low on my daily glucose reading. Okay. Only once. All right. Patrice says I haven't had them continuously, but noticed sometimes in the night at times it would go low based on symptoms of sweating and clamminess. Okay. All right. And Darium, have you had any issues with lows, sugar lows? All right. Linda says, I have been taking collagen for 3 years or more. I add to water some foods. Okay. Gotcha, Miss Linda. I don't worry about the calories. It's so small, just the protein. Right, right, right. That's me too. Me too. So yeah, but I don't even track the protein. I mean, whatever is in it, it's just a additive for me. Yeah, so I've been having some lows still. So when I was at 15.1, of course, I started and that's why I'm asking the chat because I'm experiencing some lows a little more than I need to. And I'm trying to figure that out. So when I was on the 2.5 milligram dose of Manjaro, I was out the gate, of course. Well, no, not out the gate. I'm sorry. I started off with insulin only for like 2 to 3 weeks. And then, of course, that's going to push it down, my insulin down fast. I had a fast acting insulin and I had a slow acting insulin. And I had to take that, the fast acting every time before a meal. And then I had to take the slow acting at night. Okay. So then I got Manjaro. I started that of course, in the hospital. But when I came home on the 11th of July, 2024, I had to start, giving it to my, taking the shots myself or giving myself the shots and or injections. And so, of course, it's going to go down some because of that. But I noticed that, when I started Manjaro, I started getting lower sugars because, of course, as I stated before, I went on a strict low carb diet. Making sure I only ate like maybe more so fruit to get, like I love apples and I love tangerines. So that was, a go-to for me to get, some carbs in. But then also, it's traces of carbs and vegetables, depending on, like green leafy vegetables. I wasn't eating a lot of the beans and everything back then, which is okay to eat. I just preferred not to eat them unless it was green beans, excuse me, at the time. And when I eat beans, I like eating rice with it. So I will only have that every now and again. And when I did get the rice, it was like the brown rice and then maybe like some black beans if I went to Chipotle. But other than that, I was good with with the bean. I didn't have to have that. So I did that first, and then it just brought my sugar down even more with me having, doing the strict low carb diet. And then once I went, and I also found out about Sara Lee Delightful Bread, and I would eat that as well, which of course, that it's a keto friendly bread. So that helped me, get some carbs in as well. But I was still low carb, very, very low. And that helped me get that glucose down a whole lot. To where in 3 weeks, even before I started Manjaro, my glucose went from 15.1 at the beginning of the month to 12 point something. I can't remember exactly the number now, but it went down to 12 um, at the end of the month. And then I went on Manjaro the next day, and within 2 months, it really lower, less than 2 months, it was down again to 8.6. And that's because of the low carb diet I was doing. That was because of the walking, as well as, now doing the shots and the Manjaro. Now, then it ended up being where I started getting sugar lows. And so that's why when I went to the doctor after my blood work was done at the beginning of September, and I said August, I meant September. Um, that's when I ended up having to be taken off of the insulin altogether, both of them, and then going on Jardiance. And he was, my doctor was like, well, you should not have any more lows now, whatever, because Jardiance normally doesn't make you go too low. So I was on the Jardiance and the Manjaro 5 at that time. Then it went up to 5 milligrams at that time to kind of compensate because I was not going to be doing the insulin anymore. But I still had lows, but not as many. So then come December, when he wanted me to start the 7.5 earlier than December, but I asked him, can I stay on it a little longer? And he said yes. So December 17th, when I had to go get, the next dose of Manjaro, I went ahead and I went up to 7.5 as he asked before. And when I did that, I had to, I started having even more lows, experiencing even more lows. Now, at that point, I had kind of titrated up in the amount of carbs I ate, but I was going, I was having lows. And so like wherein my glucose at the morning was 75. So before I even took the Jardiance. So, I talked to one of my friends that's a nurse practitioner, and she told me, you don't want to take both of those medications and your sugar is already, that low, because you don't want your sugar under 70, right? That means it's going too low. So you have to be careful. You have to make sure you eat something that, like a simple carb to kind of bring it back up. So with that being said, she said, contact your doctor, let them know they may want to take you off one of the medications. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want them to take me off my Manjaro. So hopefully they'll just take me off the Jardiance. And so I did come off the Jardiance, and I was on the 7.5, like I said, but I'm still having lows, y'all. I'm still experiencing lows, some lows. Not all the time, but I am experiencing them. And so I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know if I don't know if the 7.5 is too strong for me. Or if insulin resistance, if I'm more insulin resistant now versus before, which I'm sure I am, but how do you test that? There are tests to do, but normally your doctors don't do that, don't test for it. So I'm trying to figure that out now. So that's why I ask people about if they've experienced lows. So Twan says, I'm going to try Profi one day. Okay. I heard the shake changes the taste for people that don't like coffee. Yes. I love Profi. My collagen supplement. The collagen supplement is only 20 calories, Bellflower says. Monty says, I get low sugars if I wait too long to eat, especially after a workout. The dietitian said to eat every 3 to 4 hours to stop that. Okay. All right. Note to self. Trying to think. I go a long period of time without eating. I intermittent fast, but I don't try to. It just happens because I'm not really a breakfast. Like, I don't want to eat in the morning. Like, even before I started the, my weight loss journey. Yeah, I was just not eating in the morning. So yeah, it takes me a while before I eat, and I'm not hungry at all. So with that being said, I need to figure that out. I'm trying to figure that out so I can eat a little earlier. But even at night, so say if I eat, and I eat kind of late at night because of course I don't start my day till late. So even me eating at night, So like, some people say, okay, I eat at 7. I stop eating at 7 p.m. So they go 7 p.m. to maybe say breakfast the next day. But they say eat every 3 to 4 hours. How do what I'm trying to figure that out. Like, um, because with me, even say if I eat at 10 o'clock at night and I don't go to bed to maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm normally not eating after that, right? Because I'm not snacking or whatever. And I find myself, even at night before I go to bed, that my sugars are low. So then I have to go in the kitchen and eat a tangerine, and I put like some, like I may eat pecans and tangerine, just a few pecans and some in a small, like cutie, to get my sugars up so that I can go to sleep. So it's my fasting, blood glucose can be low, as well as my, before I go to bed, which is why I still check my sugars twice a day. My doctor told me I only had to do it twice a week, but I check it twice a day because of the lows. So that's what I don't understand. Why? The one I purchased is 9 protein and 35 calories. Okay. She's talking about the collagen. All right, Bellflower says, Twan, also a great hack for those who were once addicted to those Starbucks fraps. Ask me how I know. Right, exactly. Me too. Me too. Honey, I had that track, the app, the Starbucks app, and just using the app just to be, just going to Starbucks just to make sure I get a free coffee. I was doing that too for a while. Wasting money. All right, so Money says also if I go too low carbs, my sugar drops. Okay, I have to keep carbs at least 75. So when I first started, like I said, I was lower than 75. I wasn't 20, but I was definitely like 50. And then I moved up to 75 grams per day. And then I moved up to 90 something, and then I moved up to over 100 something per day, like 125 a day. And still, lows are coming. All right, Mia, collagen isn't a complete protein and doesn't count towards. Collagen isn't a complete protein and doesn't count towards total protein goal for the day. Some jars of collagen don't say this to tell people. I've heard that. Bellfire says, Profit is my new venti Starbucks drink. Right. Money says, Twan, they make a lot of skinny syrups, zero. Right. Everything you may think, everything that you may like, I get them for Ross. Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, they all have them. I like the Mateos, the skinny syrups, and Tarani is okay. What else I had? Skinny mixes, skinny mix syrup, Tarani. I'm sorry. I think I said Toronto. Tarani, but Mateo is my biggest purchase. Similac is another one. I can't remember the other one, but yeah, they all have good flavors. Okay, Mill says, I learned that collagen advice on a live in this community because I didn't know collagen isn't a complete protein. Yes. Yes, I've heard that too on our community, within our community. Bellflower, Mia, yes, I take it for healthy skin support as mine also has, yes, hyaluronic acid in it as well. Yes, that's what I'm taking mine for, Nicole, too. Skin support more so than, just for protein. Twan says, I saw the T Skinny syrup at Bell's outlet. Yes. Yeah, they'll have it at Bell's as well. Okay, so Money says, Mia, my dietitian said it still counts, just shouldn't be the main source. I want the skin benefits. Yes, skin benefits. Yes, for me, definitely. All right. So Nicole says I add the real syrup and real and regular sweet flavored creamer since I'm already low carb and low sugar. This allows me to get some real sugar in. Yes. Now for me, I do the regular. I've been buying the powdered creamer. So I'll do two tablespoons of that because I like mine sweet. I like the creamer. Um, what did I say? I like the creamer. I don't have to have a lot of coffee, but I definitely like the creamer and of course the protein drink. So it's the whole thing for me. But I put like two tablespoons of the creamer in the regular creamer. I don't buy the sugar free one anymore because it's only I think it's like 2 grams of carbs in it. And then I also put skinny syrup in it as well, or sugar free syrup. I do a little, just a dash of that though. Miney says, "Have you tried to eat like yogurt or a handful of berries that counts?" I work a different schedule every day, and I work out at 6 a.m. So I get it. Honey, I be working out at 1 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., all over the place. I be everywhere. Um, I'm trying to learn how to like yogurt. Not a big yogurt fan. Berries I don't like unless it's blueberries. I don't like the seeds in the berries. I'm a textured person. I You remember I said I was persnickety? Yeah, that's me. Um, Mia says I have a skin collagen with visceral. Is that and a versol? Is it? What did I say it right? And a hair, nails, and bones collagen because I want all of the benefits. Yes, I got you. Mia says vitamin C in your collagen helps it absorb better as well. Thank you, Mia, for that. All right, Bellflower says um, hers has vitamin C as well. All right, y'all. Y'all, thank y'all for the all the advice. Greatly appreciate it. Mia says I'm all about what supplements helps others. Right. Other ones work better. Right. Optimization of my money that way. Right. We all got to do best for. We are right. Best for our money is correct. That's so true. Hey, especially when it's so much, everything is so high nowadays. You want to get the most bang for your buck. Definitely that. So yeah, I got to figure those sugars out, y'all. I got to figure out the lows and why I'm having them. And at one point they were getting better, and then they start getting worse. Oh gosh. So with that being said, on my short, I did show some of that. I did show how sometimes, and unfortunately with me, I don't feel the lows. Like some people get clammy, get sweaty and things. I don't feel when I'm low until I'm like at 50 something, which is really, really bad. Yeah. So I definitely have to be careful because hypoglycemia is real. And you don't have that much room going low. You have a lot of room, to go up, for your sugars to go spike up or whatever. But you don't have, but maybe what, 20 points down before they feel like, they have, you need to be at the hospital getting some glycogen in you. So yeah, I got to figure that out. Hone in on that too. So it's the cholesterol. So even though I'm like, okay, now I got the highs down, but now we talking about the lows, So again, life be lifing. But I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing as far as monitoring and tweaking, to make sure that I can beat this thing, you know. And my doctor, unfortunately, he didn't even like the last time I went, my endocrinologist didn't even say, "Hey, how's your lows? Are you having lows still?" He didn't even ask. He was just like, oh, okay, your A1C is 5.5. Okay, that's even better. And and then period. you know. So I will definitely be talking to him about that as well. Okay, try the ratio keto yogurt. Okay, why? I was trying to ratio, and then I was looking at the downsides, and they were talking about those yogurts. They went and they, were talking about the taste of the yogurts and all that stuff. Just doing an assessment of different yogurts. And when I saw that, and they were like, the ratio yogurt, it doesn't even say that it's yogurt on the thing. So I was like, so I looked at mine that I had in the refrigerator, and I'm like, it doesn't say yogurt. Why doesn't it say yogurt? Why doesn't it, say anything, like the regular yogurts would say? It just said it's a protein. So that kind of got me thinking, like, maybe I shouldn't eat that stuff. I don't know. But Monty says it is whipped and doesn't taste like Greek yogurt. Maybe add sugar-free pudding to it. I tried that one time, the sugar-free pudding. I bought the cheesecake kind. Yep. But I did like the yogurt when I put granola in it and pecans and flaxseed. I had to put a lot of stuff in it to make me, like it. But I did try a yogurt the other day. Let me see what it is. Um it tastes okay. I had to put some milk in it and stuff to make it smoother. But it's a Greek yogurt. I don't know if I have I may not even have see if I'm trying to see if I have a picture of it. Okay, that's too far back, I think. It tastes okay. It was a berry flavor. Chobani, 20 grams protein, zero added sugar, um, the cherry berry flavor. But in order for me to like it, I had to add some Fairlife milk to it. And what else did I do? Let it sit in the refrigerator for a while, for like a day or so. And then I added some pecans to it, added a little bit of monk fruit to it, and then I could eat it. But the milk made it, creamier. So I was, I was able to finish it. But it took me a couple of days to eat that. Mia said everything tries to get us to buy. Right. So research is needed. So research is needed to weed out the false claim ones. I had a supplements company recently try scare tactics to get me to buy. Definitely moving away. That's true. It's always something. Bellflower says maybe you gotta eat more, Kim. No fasting. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think I need to make myself get up and eat. And that's what I've been doing. I actually have been increasing my eating. I have not even, and that's one of the reasons too why I hadn't been tracking, because I'm like, I'm just gonna eat. I mean, eat my regular stuff, eat like like I'm not on a diet, just eat. And I'm still going low, y'all. I even eat fries now. I eat regular fries sometimes. I still eat my protein with it. So again, like I was saying, it's a balance. It's not, before though, I wouldn't even touch a fry. But I'll eat a few fries, when I'm eating some foods, or I had bought some chips, some Ruffles Simply chips, which is supposed to be a little bit more, I guess, healthy for you or whatever. And I had some um, two hot dogs. I found some uncured hot dogs, less saturated fat. Didn't have nitrates and nitrites in it from Trader Joe's, nitrates and nitrites. And so I ate that with some bread that I bought from Costco that I showed on my short lately. It has a lot of fiber in it. It has carbs in it, but it has a lot of fiber in it as well. So I've been kind of eating that every morning. Well, afternoon, I should say. Um, and that gives me a lot of fiber. But yeah, I ate a few chips with that, like I would normally eat, but I just ate it. It's a healthier choice, the healthier option. But I'm still, like I said, having the lows, honey. So lately, just to let y'all know what I mean, Oh, just going to my because I have an app that gives me the information as far as my glucose when I check my sugar with the monitor. But I got to take my glasses off, y'all. Okay, so Friday, August 1st, when I checked my sugar before I went to bed, it was 59. But let me back up. Okay, so July 30th, it was 86 when I checked it before I went to bed. When I checked it before I ate the next day, or it's really the same day because like I said, I go to bed 4 o'clock in the morning. But when I checked it at 2:51, it was 63. That was right before I ate. And then 68 at 3:13 because I was trying to see if I can get it up, which of course it was coming up a little bit. And then 102 at 4:10. So because I had eaten, I had actually eaten I said, let me eat a little piece of this hard candy. And then that's when it actually went up, to at least 102. And then I wound up eating my regular meal. Because they say once you have low sugar, if you have a low sugar under 70, you want to try to get it back up. From what I heard, to 100, and then with simple carbs, and then you want to eat your a regular balanced meal, and you want to check it every 15 minutes. So that's why I checked it quite often during that time. But then at 6:44 hours later, I was at 77. So from 2 hours after I checked it and it was 102, it was already back down to 77. 4:10 versus 6:44, so almost 3 hours. And I had eaten between that time. And then, so when I went to sleep that night at 3:27 a.m., it was 59. And then but then I checked it again, so that might have been a false reading. Maybe where I, put the blood on the stick. I don't know, because I checked it right, like a minute later, it was 68. So I think that was a false reading at 59. So then I went and, of course, ate something before I actually went to sleep. And then it went back up to, no, I'm sorry. And then later on that afternoon, when I wanted to eat, I actually ate something. My fasting glucose was 67. So that's what I'm talking about. And it should, 67, 68 is not crazy bad, but it's still lower than what it needs to be. So that's my dilemma. Now, since then, 84, 71, 88, 72, 88, and 76. So my fasting has been 71, 72, and 76. My fasting glucose levels. Before I go to bed, it has been 84, 88, and 88. But I make sure, like I said, before I go to bed, I'm eating something. I don't wait, check it, and then eat. A lot of times I go ahead on and make sure I'm eating, eating something, and then maybe an hour or two later I'll check it just to see what else before I go to bed. So I'm kind of eating before instead of waiting until I check it and then eat after. And then today, when I went to bed, at 4 something today, it was 75. And then when I, for my fasting, before I ate this afternoon, it was 74. So that was good. But what I need to get it to is like in the 80s. That's what I need to go to. I need to, make sure the average is 80 something. Now, when it comes to averages for me, well, like they're saying, from July 30th to today, I've been low 33% of the times, and I've checked myself 18 readings, which is average of 2.6 readings a day. So my average is 76, but 33% of the time I have been low. That's not good. I want to, hone in on that. I need to get that low, like hone in on it a little bit more and decrease that number of 33%. So that's where I'm at with it, y'all. Which is why I'm coming to y'all about it. It's more like custard to me. Twan says, all right, my dietitian is against fasting. All right, Darren says, I think Ashley's Tamika did a yogurt bowl and added fruit and cereals to hers. Cashew Gold Crunch is tasty. Okay. Yeah, I never had that before. Thanks for that. All right, Mia says, protein powder in my Greek yogurt is a go-to move for me, and mini Oreos. You get 9 for 140 calories, and it hits like dirt pudding for me. Okay. Ooh, Oreos. I love those. And I don't have. I can have just two. You know, when I did eat Oreos, I would just eat like two at a time, and then I'll put it, away. Because again, I'm a savory person. I don't have to have a lot of sweets. Um. Okay. Bellfile says because fasting lowers blood sugar levels. Yes, it does. It lowers blood sugar levels, which was really good for me. Um, when I was trying to lower my blood sugars, but now I am not trying to do that anymore since I am, my A1C is down. But now I'm trying to raise them. Who would have thought? All right, Miney says, I think the fasting is probably causing the lows, and adding a workout to it would drop it more. Yeah, maybe in the morning try toast or half a bagel. Okay, so yeah, I've been eating toast every morning. Um, 2 pieces of toast every morning, or 2 slices rather of toast every morning. And like I said, lately I just been kind of, just eating just regular meals. I'm still mindful of what I eat, of course. I'm still choosing the um, the better options, but I am eating more carbs versus how I was before, trying to stay low on carbs. I'm well over 100 every day, 100 grams of carbs. Um, Mia says, I watched a lady who was fasting for a couple of days. I feel concerned because I thought we should not eat for that. We shouldn't not eat for that long. How long is safe to fast? Um, there are people. I think it's controversial for as fasting is concerned. For people that are diabetic or having issues with insulin resistance, because you don't have to be a diabetic to have insulin resistant issues, but it does definitely help people lower the sugars that's in their bodies. Um, Definitely that it helps you become more insulin sensitive, which we should be. So fasting has great benefits to it, and just like anything else, like some people are against GLP-1, some people aren't. You know, it's the same with when it comes to that. It's just a very controversial topic, but people can fast 3 days. Um, some people say they, receive a touch of what is it? A top. Every time I try to say it, it's all when I have to think about it. It don't want to come out. Y'all put it in the chat. What is it? A atrophy? Am I saying it right? I don't know why I messed that word up. But yeah, which is really good for us to help our blood glucose levels, as well as just our metabolic system altogether. So I think it just depends on the person, Mia, as far as the safety of it. Bellflower says some people completely turned their blood sugar around with fasting long before GLP-1s, right? But those were folks who were able to sustain that lifestyle. It's not for everyone. And some people they fast a little bit, like every now and again, and then and the rest of the time they're eating. Some people may fast twice a week, you know, just like I said, for the touch of that word, Oh God. Autophagy, is that how you say it? Why I can't say the word right now? Autophagy. I think that's it. Mia, okay, thank you, Bellflower. I guess it's shoot, Jesus fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Hmm. Mia, I guess it's been ingrained in me not eating is starving yourself. When really it's just an overall plan, just like we all have. I gotta fix my thinking. How many hours? You talking about me? How many hours I fast? Oh no, she's talking maybe Mia. 48, I believe this lady was doing. Okay, okay. Thank you for explaining. Yes, atrophy. Thank you. Is what you said. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Now, why I'm getting tongue tied, I don't know. But I don't know. Because normally, like, if I just say it, it comes out. But anytime I, like, think right quick before, I mess it up every time. But yeah, atrophy is good for you. Atrophy. There you go. Atrophy. Mm-hmm. And I'm just looking it up because I want to, just kind of tell you what it says a little bit. Because it helps with the cellular process that helps migrate and potentially reverse muscle atrophy in certain contexts. So so okay, it says it's autophagy. Fasting stimulates autophagy, the cellular process of breaking down and recycling damaged or unnecessary components, including proteins and or so yeah. So it's good for cells. It cleans up the cells in the body. So, like, say if we have bad cells and we have good cells, well, it's cleaning up those bad cells. It helps remove dysfunctional proteins and mitochondria in muscle tissue, potentially improving muscle health and contributing to the preservation of muscle mass. So that's a good thing. So fasting lengths and frequencies. The impact of fasting on muscle atrophy can vary depending on the length and frequency of fast. While shorter fasts, 24 to 48 hours, might be less likely to cause significant muscle loss, prolonged fasting for several days or more may require a more cautious approach and might lead to more noticeable muscle breakdown. So it just depends. So you have to be careful with that. So you have autophagy and then you have atrophy, which is why sometimes it's you get I can't think of actually which one I'm talking about or how to say it rather, but it definitely helps with turning over cells. Is that's what it boils down to, helping turning over cells, bad cells in your body. Mel says I do that same thing on certain words. Yes. How many hours, Kim, did I fast? You know what, it's not really that I'm trying to do it, so it's not like okay I got a certain amount. With me, like I said, it depends on what time I go to bed, and what time I decide to eat at night. But a lot of times, because I'm getting sugar lows, I may not even be considered, like a real fast. Like like you have 12 hours, 16 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, whatever. So if I'm eating, say, like I said, if I don't go to sleep until after 4 o'clock in the morning, so I take my bath, then I check my sugar, then I go to bed, or go get some food and then go to bed. But say if I was to check my sugar at 3, like this particular time, I checked it at 3:28 a.m. But I ate again the next day. It was 12 hours later. About 12 hours later, I ate. But then there's some times where I'm not getting the full 12 hours in. But again, it's not so much that I'm trying to fast, it's that I'm not hungry. And even like I said before I started this GLP-1 medication and found out I had diabetes and everything, I just was never a breakfast eater. So it's easy for me not to eat breakfast. Now I eat breakfast foods, but I don't have to eat. Even, on the weekends, we'll eat maybe 11, 12 o'clock before, that'll be my first time eating before I, started this medication. So it just went a little longer when I started the medication. But sometimes I can go 16 hours, without eating. Tanya says that makes sense. Fasting, getting rid of toxins and bad cells, correct. And we need to do that. We don't want a lot of bad cells, to stay in our bodies, because of course that's when all of the diseases start happening. And you want your mitochondria, you want to have good metabolic health. So that's why I said, fasting I think is good for some people, especially for diabetics when they first start out. I think it's good to have, to do that because it definitely helps with insulin sensitivity. And when you think about it, when it comes to insulin resistance, your body is sitting like, we're eating the sugars and everything, the carbs that's turning into sugars, or eating or drinking, simple sugars, all. And it's supposed to digest it. But for some reason, because we've overdone it for years, it stopped working like it should. And so therefore, we become insulin resistance. And then after so many years, if you continue like you continue, then you become diabetic. And so we need to find a way to get all that sugar out of us, which is why the low carb works well. And that's why fasting is often good as well, because it kind of like can kind of reset your body. Tanya said, neither am I a breakfast person. I have to force myself to eat. Right. And that's what I'm going to wind up having to do. But like I said, what was weird to me is that even like I said, at night before I go to bed, I'm having the same issue and having to go and eat before I go to sleep at times. Not every night, but a lot of nights. So if I see that my sugar is like 70 something, I'll eat something. I'll eat a tangerine or cutie, mandarin orange, mandarin orange, whichever you want to call it. I eat that, and I eat a few pecans just to give, to have sugar and fiber, so it won't go, spike up. I don't want my sugar to spike up, but yeah, that's what I'll do, and I'll still be at 70 something, and then when I check it again. So that's what it's just odd for me. But I thank you all for your suggestions. I'm going to try them. Try to eat a little earlier in the daytime. Disclaimer: Kim is is as compassionate and caring. Yes, I am. She is not a doctor. Nope, not a doctor, and not offer medical advice. Nope, nope, nope. She is merely sharing her journey and her opinion. Yes, and what Dr. Google says. Consult your care team. Please do so. Please do so. And so I have consulted mine, and we talked about some of the things that you all said too. But like I said, for some reason, I'm still having that problem. But I will, something's going to work, something's going to work. And I'll be able to close in that gap. But I will try some of the things that you all have stated because they are good advice. I'm going to have to make myself get up and eat earlier. Because even times I may not, I say I'm not going to even exercise after I eat, my dinner. Not going to exercise at all. I'm just going to chill, and it still go low. It still be low when I take my sugar before I go to bed. So I'm just like, okay, well, how do people go when between 7 p.m. if they stop at 7 and they go to bed at 12 at night? They're not eating the whole time. So, and then they don't eat until the next day, next morning, even if it's 7 o'clock in the morning, you still fasted. That was, intermittent fast, that's 7 to 7. So that's 12 hours. That's considered intermittent fasting. So, what do these people do? So I'm happy I was able to talk to y'all about it. These are things that I wanted to, I'm like, I should bring it to I talked to Patrice Denise about it. Definitely talked to her about it. She has, she was diagnosed with diabetes, and, we've been trying to figure it out, and I thank her for, just listening to me and kind of giving me a little advice about it. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So I was wondering if I need to, like I said, if 7.5 is too strong for me and it's just time to go back down to a 5. That's one of the reasons. I think I said it on Downsides and Divas channel that I may have to go back down to a 5. Even though he wanted to put me up at the 10, I may have to be going down, I just don't want them to be like, oh, you don't need it no more. Because I heard some people say, when they have diabetes and they find out that their sugars go low again, then they take them off the medication. I'm hoping I don't have that issue, because I think the medication is very, very good. For me, it's been very good to me, and I want to, keep taking it. But yeah, I'd rather take that than a pill any day, because it's only one time a week versus, every single day. Then I thought about, or do I need to stay on the 7.5 and do maybe every other week? So I'm going to talk to my doctor about it and see what they say. I wanted to try some things out before I called them, just to kind of see, what I could, if some of the things could help me before I actually talk to them about it. I'm glad you shared on here. Yes. Talking it out helps. Right. I concur with Darium. Yes. Yes, yes. So Darium says, when I had lows, oh, maybe I'm sorry, I miss you, Monty, too. Maybe the lack of sleep contributes to it. Maybe. That's true. That could be it. Um, because I go to sleep, I get my 7 hours, sometimes 8, but they're not consistent. It's not like, it's not like the full 7 hours. I have to wake up because of what time I go to bed. I have to wake up to you. Well, I'm probably gonna wake up anyway, even if I go to bed at 7 o'clock at night. I'm gonna wake up to use the bathroom. But unfortunately, it takes me forever in the bathroom to use it. Like I use it 2 or 3 times for some reason, like peeing, and then after that, I finally get back into bed or whatever to and go back to sleep. It don't take me long to get sleep. As soon as I hit that pillow, I'm knocked out. After a couple minutes. But even if the TV is on, it don't matter what's on. I'm gonna fall asleep. So I don't have no problem falling asleep. But and I don't actually go to sleep. I don't actually stay asleep. Just take forever in the bathroom, and then then I finally get back into bed. But once I go to sleep, I go to sleep. I'm good until I, of course, have to pee again. So that's how that goes. But and then of course, because I'm going to sleep so late, my husband has to get up to go to work, and so I may hear him. And so if I open my eyes or whatever, if I turn over, he gonna start talking. And so that's it for a little bit until he leaves out or whatever, and then I go back to sleep. So like I said, I'm getting the full 7-8 hours, but it's just broken up. So I'm trying to figure that out too. All right. So Darium says, when I had lows, I had to take glucose tabs to bring my glucose up. Then I ate some peanut butter crackers or some protein to burn for a while. Okay, yeah. So I kind of talked about that a little bit, just having, once you get your sugar up, then you make sure you eat a kind of more balanced meal to kind of, like level things out. Okay, so that's what you did. Okay. And did you have them, Darium, throughout the day, before you went to bed, or? Was it when you woke up in the morning, at your fasting, or what, or just throughout the day? It didn't matter. Patricia Lee says, I'm glad you shared on here. Right. Well, I read that. Yes. All right. So Monty says, or your dose may be too high. Right. That's what I was wondering, if it was too high. Nowadays. Yep. I was wondering. I always said probably should stay my rump on the 5, because even when I told you when I went to 7.5, I saw I didn't lose as much either. I was losing more in the 5. I was losing more in the 5. Um, Felicia says I'm the same way with my sleep schedule. Yeah, all over the place, child. Mia, I know magnesium helps my sleep, and now my progesterone helps me stay asleep through the day because I work at nights. Okay. And see, I don't even think they'll give me progesterone because I've had a hysterectomy. So you really don't need progesterone for that, once you've had a hysterectomy. They said there are times when they will put you on progesterone, but normally you don't need it. Magnesium, I take magnesium every day, but I have to use it. I have to use it. I have to get up and pee. And that might have something to do with my kidneys, because it seems like yeah, because I wake up maybe once or twice to use it. Not too bad, but still, I wish I didn't wake up at all. While I'm asleep. Um, it was different times. That's why I got a CGM. Okay, they are much, much more level. I can't fast though. Okay, gotcha. So what time you go to bed? I mean, what time you? What's the latest you eat? And then what time do you, eat when you wake up for the morning? Darian. Okay, maybe your doc will give you a CGM so you can monitor what's impacting your glucose more closely. So I was on, I had the CGM, so I will have to pay. I pay like 75 and some change for it. I stopped using it. I was using it, and that was another way I could monitor my glucose when I was trying to get it down. Um, the part I liked it to do that because it helped me, make sure I lower my sugars, or find ways to lower my sugar and monitor that. But then once I had to get an MRI, I stopped wearing it. I was down to, at that point, the monitor was saying that my glucose probably would be 5.7 once I do my, check my A1C again. And between 5.6 and 5.7, it was showing me. And then when I had to get an MRI one time, I had to take it off, and I never put it back on. Because at that point, I was like, okay, I'm low now. My A1C is normal. My glucose levels was good and all that. But like I said, you know, after some time, then it started getting out of whack again for some reason. But it was after that 7.5, because I'm just on Manjaro. I'm not on nothing else. That's why I feel like 7.5 probably is just too much. But yeah, I did think about doing a CGM again, at least, another month, to kind of see how it's, what it's doing. Because it definitely helps. Mine says, my doctor said next visit she is lowering the dose because of lows and weighing less. Yes. So ask the doctor. Yes. That's what I'm thinking. Lower my dose. What dose are you on now, Money? Mia, I know Delilah had hysterectomy, but take progesterone for her to stay asleep. Mia said that. She had a hysterectomy, but take progesterone. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it depends on, I guess, your doctor and what they say you need. Because I did, like I said, that when I read up on it, I did see that they were saying some people will get on it. Still, take the progesterone. And I think you don't need it because you don't have your uterus. So does she? I mean, I don't know if she went into all that. When she talked about it. I'm just looking it up. Looking. So it says no, progesterone is generally not needed after a partial hysterectomy if your ovaries are also removed, as the primary purpose of progesterone is in HRT is to protect the uterine lining from the effects of estrogen. If the ovaries are left intact, progesterone may still be beneficial to manage menopause symptoms. So they gave it to her probably to manage her menopause symptoms. Um, yeah. So for me, they may give it to me if I decide to use HRTs. Um, I'll be talking to my gynecologist about that this year when I go to my appointment. But normally you don't need it because I don't have a uterus. I just have my ovaries. All right, the latest I typically eat is at 8. Okay, and I eat breakfast at 7 when I get to work. Okay, and you haven't been having any issues anymore. Okay, because you don't typically quote unquote intermittent fast. All right, yes, Kim J, she did say that. Okay, it was just something her doctor was trying for her. Okay, gotcha. All right, Monty says I'm on 15. Okay, but she wants to start lowering and using 10 as maintenance. 10 was my favorite, but due to shortages, moved to 12.5. Okay, gotcha. Good night, Kim J and Chad. Good night. Going to bed. All right, 5 a.m. Yes, you're right about it. Have a good night. Good night, Darium. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for your help. All right. So yeah. So I figured it out, y'all. Thanks for all your your suggestions. I do appreciate it. Do appreciate it much. I like I said, I talked to Patrice about it, and I was just like, she was like, it's probably good to talk to somebody about it. So I said, let me go to the community and talk to them and see what they say. It's hard for me to talk about it, y'all, but it is what it is. I was thinking, I'm like, they probably like, well, you told me you get your A1C down, and so yeah, but still having issues. So thank y'all for that. Thank y'all for no judgment zone. Um, yeah, I needed this from y'all. Thanks, family. And so, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about tonight? So for me, takeaway, some just suggestions that I gave that you all gave me. And like I said, I'm going to talk to my doctor about it definitely. Um, thank you, Kim J, for all the great information. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank y'all for y'all, suggestions too. But and just let me, kind of talk to y'all about it, what I got going on. It feels weird. Like when I talk to somebody personally about it, people that have phone numbers, it's easy to talk to them. But sometimes getting on this camera and just letting I feel like all my business out, it's like, oh God, it was kind of hard to say. Good night, Mel. Hard to do it, but I'm happy I did come to you. And y'all gave me great suggestions. Great live off the bed because tomorrow is a metabolic conditioning. All right. I need to know what that is. What is metabolic conditioning? I'll figure that out. I'm gonna look that up. All right. There's Mel B. Yep. So yeah. So y'all, I do thank y'all for coming tonight. Thank you for sharing, helping your sister out. Greatly appreciate that. Hopefully y'all got something from me tonight as well. And like I said, I know my takeaway homework is to still try to get some more sleep in, more sound sleep. I am trying to, I'm going to consciously, both things, try to consciously make sure I am going to sleep a little earlier so that I won't, because it's conducive to, kind of how my house is ran, right? So it'll be helpful for me to go to sleep a little earlier so I won't be interrupted, when my husband gets up to go to work in the morning. Also, so that'll help me a lot. Sleep when he sleeps, right? We talked about that too the other day. he didn't even know I was, have this in my mind, already thinking about it. Plus, when Mel B had talked about, sleeping at night, the benefits of it versus sleeping in the daytime. So that was some thought that gave me some thought too. So yeah, I'm like, I got to try to get a little bit more sleep at night. It'll be more beneficial for me. So therefore, that's my takeaway. Also, making sure that I, try to eat earlier in the morning as well is what I'm going to do, as well as talk to my doctor about it and let them know um, what's going on, you know? Okay. Yeah. So you heard me, Mel, about going to sleep, trying to go to sleep a little earlier. And it's gonna take some intention, definitely. Because I'm just used to going to sleep late. I'm a night owl. So yeah. But anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you, Mia. I always hope that I am giving, some, you know, um, good advice. I know I encourage people, but just be able to give, good advice. Um, and then us just working through things together. So I do appreciate your, support in the chat. It helps me become more comfortable talking to everyone. Um, and I'm sure it probably helps you, the more I spill my beans. You're like, who is this Kim J that has a sweet, healthy life? So good night, Tanya. Thanks for coming. And I hope you again feel better. Keep you in my prayers. You're welcome. Yes, definitely. Definitely. That's what we're here for. Right. So I want to do it, I need to do it myself. I want y'all to tell me, kind of what's going on, and so I can encourage you all, but I got to do more of that as well. So that, this is me today, telling my truth, giving you, what's going on with me. So I do appreciate y'all so much, so much. So if that's all, then we'll call it a night, and I will meet you all again here next Tuesday, 7:45 p.m. And another thing, I was talking to Grace when she was like, "What time you go live?" I'm like, about 7:45 ish. So that's another thing, time management. That's important too. Good night, Patrice. Thank you for coming in. I'm happy you were able to, make it tonight. Live and in person, up close and personal. Yes, yes. So yeah, trying to make sure I get on at 7:45 instead of 7:45, 7:50, 7:58, just to be mindful of time, trying to make sure I get everything done early enough so that I can get on right at 7:45. Time management is something I got to work on too. So that's it. But other than that, look, I've spilled enough tonight in one setting. So I will talk to you all next Tuesday. Try to put some more videos out this week, the rest of the week. And thank you all for helping me celebrate my 1 year anniversary on my Manjaro weight loss anniversary. I've had a very, very great time, this past year, um, becoming healthier. And I'm happy that I was able to share it with you all, the things that I did share. And I'm hoping to share more, about my journey as I continue to, like I said, get more comfortable with the camera. Again, it's much easier for me to talk on the phone to you personally versus, on the camera. So I'm still trying to, I know I have a testimony to tell. I know it's some things that I can share that, you may, there may be some interest up to you or may help you along the way. So, I'm just trying to get more confidence in getting on that camera and talking in that camera and sharing more with you this year is one of my goals. And yeah, that's what I plan on doing. So, like I said, I got a lot of homework to do and I'm excited about it. And I know God is going to be with me in this. And I thank you all for coming. Oh, Debbie, I'm sorry. I hope you're doing well today. And one of the things I just wanted to talk about today, just to let you know real quick, because we're about to leave, is that just if you want to share your what you think is a sweet, healthy life, and I hope you are living yours, and found your sweet, healthy life. And I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but I understand. You're good. All right, good, good, good. I'm happy you were able to come in, at least for us to say hey to each other. Do you have anything to share real quick before we go? I know a couple people still on, but I hope you are, doing well, in your journey. And oh, I love you. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. And I know you're on Manjaro too. Have you had any issues with your having sugar lows since you've, calmed down off of, your A1C has gotten better? Real quick before I go off. I know I've gotten some good takeaways tonight about that, because I've been experiencing some lows a little bit more than usual lately. You're not doing good at all on that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So yeah, I guess so. Go back and look at you talking about with your sugars, right? Or is that what you're saying? Your sugars? Are you having sugar lows, Debbie? So if you are talking about having sugar lows, low sugars, blood glucose lows, then yeah, go back and I'm starting 15 tomorrow. I'm doing okay. You're doing great on your sugar. Okay, okay, I got you. Okay, I thought you was talking about sugar lows. Okay, gotcha. Okay, you start 15. All right, cool. Well, I hope 15 serves you well. I hope so 15, and it's about time for you to go to Hawaii, ain't it? Hope you have a great time there. I'm sure you will. Excuse me. So if you're saying you're not having, let me see what. Okay. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully everything is well for you, and hopefully you are you're learning to, live a sweet, healthy life. I know, like I said, life be life and all the time, right? But we want to make sure that we are living that sweet, healthy life, or finding ways to, get to that point. Yes, August 28th. Okay. My anniversary is August 29th. Yeah, I wish I was going over there with you. We've been wanting to go to Hawaii for a while, so hopefully we'll get there soon. And that was sweet of your friend to invite you over. That is awesome. Free of charge. I love it. Even more sweeter. Talking about a sweet, healthy life. Yes. So yeah, if you want to go back, and hopefully you'll be able to go back and just look at the live, and maybe you can get some good things from it, because we've been sharing a lot of good things tonight. So, but all right, so I will talk to you all next week, next Tuesday, 7:45. I'll be back on um, with the next topic. All right. Okay. Yes. All right. You have a great one. All right, y'all. Good night. Love y'all. Until next time, y'all be blessed.